Uganda has done something tremendous. They picked up a huge victory against Cape Verde in their first, game of their second or final qualifying window at the Afrobasket Qualifiers happening in Tripoli, Libya. Guys, Uganda managed to win the game 63-60 and got a revenge from last time around when Cape Verde defeated us 78-73. It was an interesting game, a test game, more so from the second quarter onwards. But Uganda did manage to pick up the result. Just to let you know what happened at the end of the game. With about with less than a minute to go, Uganda has Uganda scores. Actually, Dreba missed one of the 2 free throws, and Uganda had a 5-point lead. They had the ball, they get a stop, and then he turns the ball over, and Cape Verde score, and it was a 3-point game with about a few seconds remaining. I could see the comments were going wild. Everyone was complaining, but Uganda managed to, at the end, just get another stop, got the ball, and saw out the victory. But just to break down the game a little bit, in the end, in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter was a bit tough. That's where I'm going to start from. Uganda led this game they led most of the game, but in the fourth quarter, Uganda had a 4-point lead, and these guys, made a 5-goal run and took the lead, which caused a bit of a panic and tension here and there. But when Uganda called the timeout, we saw Ishmail Wainwright telling the guys to cool down. Even when they came back on the court, he was handling the ball and trying to control a couple of things, and Uganda managed to come back in that one. Dreba made a very huge 3-point shot, after Cape Verde had taken the lead, and that 3-point shot really was the change that Uganda needed. Shortly after that, Jonathan Okomagum made a big dunk, a beautiful pass by Dreba to find him, and Uganda just managed to see out the win like that. In the first quarter, Uganda led that game 22-12. It was a very good shooting from behind the arc. 5 of 10 from 3-point line in the first quarter for Uganda. It was a good outing. Ishmael Wainwright had 12 points to his name in the first quarter, while Opong had 7. So pretty much everything was going well for Uganda. But in the second quarter, the intensity just increased. The intensity went through the roof, and Uganda couldn't keep up with one another, despite actually both teams defended really well, but Uganda looked the most susceptible team. They only scored 6 points, only 6 in the second quarter, but they still stayed ahead by halftime because also Cape Verde scored just 12 in that second quarter. It was a bit tight. In the third, Opong just went off. The guy was shooting lights out. He had 3 of 4 from 3-point line, and he had 12 points in the third quarter alone. But despite all he did, Uganda was defending really well in the interior, but the outside was a problem because Cape Verde, somehow figured it out. They made 5 3-pointer shots in the third quarter, and they kept ahead. They kept there with Uganda, despite all the damage that Robinson Opong was trying to do. Cape Verde was still right in the game. But in the fourth, Uganda, as I said, was ahead a bit. Then Cape Verde just took a lead slightly, in the final 5 minutes. But Uganda managed to see out the victory. What does this mean? Uganda right now has a win. This is a big win. They now have 2 wins in this Afrobasket so far out of the 4 games they played. They are through. For Cape Verde, it's almost like we could just say that they are through to the Afrobasket 2025. But for Uganda, right now it's they're waiting for the game against Nigeria. That game is consequential. If Nigeria lose that game, that means Uganda is in a very, very good spot, because that would mean that for Nigeria to go through, they would have to win Uganda by more than 10 and also win their game against Libya. So that's how it is. But for Uganda right now, they're in a stronger position. So they're waiting to see the result between Nigeria and Nigeria. But all Uganda, what they're praying for is for Nigeria to lose that game, because if Nigeria lose that game, then tomorrow I think if Uganda doesn't lose the game or they lose with less than 10, then we are through to the Afrobasket. Guys, thank you very much. See you tomorrow as we break down the game of Nigeria. Thank you very much.